this is Charlie from Charlie's Awesome World of Adventures, and welcome back to the Review Circle. Cool. Since Pixar's releasing their next animated film, Turning Red, onto Disney Plus tomorrow, I thought I'd review a Pixar film to get ready. But Pixar's got a lot of movies that I still have yet to review. But then I remembered a trilogy where I've reviewed the first two movies, but I still got the third film to review in that trilogy. That one being Cars 3. In this one, Lightning McQueen is starting to get old as being one of the oldest race cars. It even gets more challenging when new next-gen and cars led by Jackson Storm have started entering the Piston Cup. And everyone starts thinking that McQueen should retire, especially after a big nasty crash in the last race of one of the Piston Cup seasons. But to get ready for the next Piston Cup season, and if he wants to stay in the big leagues, McQueen would have to go to the Rusty's Racing Centre to train and to be just as fast as Jackson Storm. I can easily say that the Cars franchise is easily Pixar's most underrated franchise. This is a really good franchise. The first film is a great introduction, and the second one, while I don't see it as good as the first, I don't think it deserves all the hate it gets because it's still a really good movie. As for Cars 3, I can easily say that this one is the best movie of the trilogy. And that was pretty easy to say. So let's dive into the characters of this movie. This movie really gives a lot of depth to these guys. We've grown to love them for all 11 years since the first film. And now we finally get to have these characters fleshed out in a big way. Starting, of course, is the main racer of the franchise, Lightning McQueen, where the movie really gave him the most character development. And in the first film, his character was learning about slowing down and respecting others than himself. In the second one, it's him learning to be a good friend and to his best friend Mater. And in the third movie, McQueen has to try. I prove to everyone that he might be old, but he can still be good at the sport he's done. This gives McQueen a lot of pressure as he wants to keep up with the new youngsters and try to be as fast as them. All the other characters from the first film do return and do have some roles to help McQueen during the film, like Mater, Sally, and even Tex Dinoco. But the ones that are more prominent are Luigi, Guido, and Mag, who go with McQueen on the trip. As for the new characters, the film took its time to develop some of the new ones, and even if some had smaller roles than others, but they still made sure these new guys are interested. Like from McQueen's old racing partners with Bobby Swift and Cal Weathers. First, the Crazy Eight gang, and led by Miss Fritter, the Thomasville gang, and with racers Junior Moon, Louise Nash, and River Scott, as well as led by Smokey, who helps McQueen to get ready for the third act. And Sterling, McQueen's new sponsor, Elsa, and Jackson Storm. He's McQueen's rival, and I'm glad they actually had him in the first act and the third act. Because if he appeared in all three acts, his role would feel really forced in the second act. But then there's Cruz Ramirez, McQueen's aim that goes with him to help him be as good as the youngsters like Jackson Storm. One thing this movie did really well is show that while she is a trainer, that are more dreams she has, where she wants to be more than just someone who trains for young race cars, and even dreams of being one herself. Elsa feels like that's a dream that's quite possible, making her a really good role model to little girls, to get really inspired by her. But if there's one thing the movie did well with its characters, it's with Doc Hudson, aka Fabulous Hudson Hornet. From the second film, it seems I did to go to when the actor passed away, so did the character they play. This film is a great tribute to both Paul Larson and Doug of how much he meant to Lightning McQueen, as well as some old recordings from Paul himself. Speaking of the acting, then I'd say that's got to be some of the best acting in this franchise, where all the actors still do their good job. Especially Owen Wilson portraying Lightning McQueen as more of an older car than he was in the first two movies. Now let's get on to the story. While it does seem like a pretty simple story at first, you can go deep into it and realise how it's a perfect story for a film like this. It does seem familiar about the old racer who wants one more chance in the big leagues, but is starting to get old, and everyone thinks it's time for him to retire. While it may not seem original at first, the execution of this story more than helps it. It shows how much racing is important to Lightning McQueen, and how he wants to do everything to make sure he still is a good racer, no matter of his age. It also shows that he has to have some development where he may need to learn to let go, and pass it on to someone new. Not only that, but it shows a good moral of not never giving up on your dreams, aims and always keep trying, as well as learning when it's time to let go, and give it on to someone new. Not only that, but the movie really expands the world building of the franchise. Sure, we do see some role places from the other films, like the Piston Cup racetracks, Acting Radiator Springs, which I'll talk about more in a minute, but it shows more places in the world of cars that have not yet been seen, like a demolition derby, or even a little beach sprint. And then there's the element that I think the improved on the most from the other two films, the animation. This may be controversial of me, but I say that this has got to be some of Pixar's best animation, and it still holds up 5 years later. One thing the movie really an improvement over the last two is with the textures of everything. This is mainly shown with the designs of the cars, as where they make them look like they're these metal vehicles. Cause like strong machines ready for racing. Also, adding a bit of metallic finish to them to make them stand out and feel more unique. Not only that, but the character animation was really well done. I'm sure it's not really as amazing as in Cars 2, as the movie can be more expressive with all the gadgets they have at their disposal, so with it being a spy movie and all. But the film really showed the different movements of a car, and even got into different functions of the vehicles. It also does show some background. I've definitely got a bit of an improvement. Like the Piston Cup tracks film have more amazing locations than just a racetrack. All Radiator Springs is now seen in a little bit of a winter light. But the true highlights of the animation and this movie are the racing scenes. When Lightning McQueen or crews would put their speed to the test as to take part in some great racing. They are what makes this a Cars movie. They show the different speeds these cars can go. And having them quite intense, especially the last race with the Florida 500. It's no wonder why I decided to get that big set for Christmas in 2017. I'll even show you. See? So overall, I can say that the Cars franchise is definitely one of the most underrated franchise, and that this is not only one of their most underrated movies, but one of their best as well. Pixar's best as well. Cars 3 is a great end to the trilogy, making sure it takes the best aspects of the first two and putting them in a great package with a highly engaging story, incredible animation, unforgettable characters, some really good racing scenes, and a great tribute to Paul Larson, who played Doc in the first film. I can definitely say that if you are a fan of the first two movies, then this is an absolute must watch. Or if you just like the first one but don't care about the second one, then don't worry, as it doesn't really go into much details with the second one, so you mainly just have to watch the first film. It is more noticeable why people call this more of a direct sequel, equal to Cars than the second one. As much as I do really want a fourth film, and it isn't in my top 10 and sequels I want to see, for animation at least, I can be happy that if it just stays in the trilogy, then it definitely ended on a high note, which is why I'm giving this movie a 10 out of 10. And now, like I said in my update video, I'm no longer going to say in the video or give a hint of what the next episode of the review cycle will be, in case I'm not able to do that film. So whatever the next one will be, I'm going to try now have review cycles released now on Thursdays every Thursday. So tune in next Thursday and I'll take a look into another movie. What one will it be? Well, you're going to have to wait and see. See you later, folks.